Well, good evening, everyone. And I just wanted to do a very short video here on what happened earlier today. So, Catherine and I, of course, you could tell, had done a live stream. And I could hear her audio just fine. So, I figured everything was feeding through the stream. Now, we didn't have any viewers in the beginning. But once people started coming in, they're like, we can't hear Catherine, which is mind boggling. I have no idea why that happened. So I am deleting the video because I don't want people to listen for the first hour and not hear anything that Catherine said. We were completely unaware that that was going on. Now, I will say that I was having a heck of a time. Every time I would bring her collab cam, or I would turn on the collab cam, invite her into a stream, and she would come on with me, my audio would just stop. She couldn't hear me. And then we finally got it working, and I could hear her, she could hear me, and started the live stream. Got an hour in before we realized that no one could see or no one could hear her for the first hour. So I'm scrubbing that video, okay? And a Monday evening around 6:30, we're gonna do it again because it's an important topic. I like what Catherine has to say on the subject because she teaches at a community college. So it's one of those subjects where I know she's got a lot of input. So I thought, well, we'll. So Monday evening we're gonna do it again. I'll be on here about 6:30, and we will start the live stream, and we're gonna make sure that everybody hears Catherine before we get into the subject matter and go from there. But Catherine's um, one of these folks that I really want uh, people to listen to, people to hear from, and I want people to hear from her. But again, I apologize for the audio just being missing, and it's one of those oddball things. No idea why it happened, because again, if it's feeding to me and it's pushing up through the board, I'm thinking YouTube could hear it. And then she clicked on something and suddenly everybody could hear. And it doesn't make any sense to me why that happened. Um, but it sucks that we spent 2 hours talk. Well, yeah, probably around 2 hours talking, and it didn't work out. So again, apologies for all of you who watched the video and had to skip ahead an hour to hear Catherine's input. I apologize for that, and I will. We're going to rectify that again on Monday evening. So again, and thanks to everybody who commented and said, hey, I'm glad you guys showed up to tell us because we could have done a whole video with nobody watching at that time. Everybody comes back to watch it later and says, we can't hear Catherine at all. And, it doesn't look very good for my live stream when I have a guest on and no one can hear them talk when they're saying very important things. So, yeah, like Catherine said, we'll have it worked out Monday. Again, I apologize. I don't understand. This is now I'm using something different, okay? But any other time, if I'm seeing Catherine's audio registering in the board and I'm pushing it through software to YouTube, if it's pushing through the board and going through a USB port into the computer, that should be registering to YouTube. Somehow or another, it didn't, and I'm trying to figure it out. Yes, Voodoo, the subject is very important. Education in any state is vitally important because if we can't get our kids educated correctly, it's all going to go to hell in a handbasket faster than we want it to go. So, anyway, folks, again, just wanted to come on, apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm not sure if there's permissions on somebody's side. Now, again, early in the morning, my wife and I had tested it out. I sent her a link. She pulled it up on her phone. The audio was great, never had any issues. Now, when Catherine came on, it kept it kind of kept locking up my audio. Like suddenly my audio side wasn't working. My graph showing my audio levels weren't doing anything. And I restarted the computer. I did all this stuff. I added a different audio input capture, deleted the old one, and then suddenly she could hear me. And I'm like, oh, we're set. And then we get into YouTube, and yeah, the rest is history. But yeah, again, Catherine has a lot of important stuff to say on this subject matter, being a teacher herself. And so I definitely want to delve deep because some of the things that played from that podcast, it's going on in California and Baltimore and things like that, and some of the mindsets of some of these so-called educators and administrators is well, it's quite frightening to say the least. So with that, folks, again, Catherine and I will start again on Monday evening about 6:30. We'll go and tackle this subject again, and we'll sit and hang out till a couple people show up, verify they can hear Catherine and me, because who knows, it might flip and everybody can hear Catherine and not hear me. There's gremlins among us or something. I'm not sure, but we will definitely do this again because I really enjoyed Catherine and I's dialogue today, because again, she has a lot of good input, and I really enjoyed our dialogue. And some of you may have heard at the end that at some point maybe Catherine and I start collaborating together to do a couple of podcasts a month because Catherine's easy to talk to, and we think along the same wavelength, but one of us thinks about something different than the other one. So it's something that I want to do because I enjoy doing a show with someone else. Like when Sam Britton and I get together on his show or my show, I really enjoy it because you can bounce things off each other, and you can it's a fun time. It's a blast. And since Catherine's kind of getting into this, looking at getting into this whole podcasting thing, and being a co-chair, vice chair in the state Libertarian Party, she can give us insight into that and education. And she's ran for office. She can give us insights into that. So she's got a lot of good information to pass along to everybody else. So again, folks, I apologize for later today. I'm thinking the video should be gone, but I'm going to check right now to see if that video is. Let's see. Go to live. Yes, and the video is now gone. So that's taken care of, and we'll be back on Monday night at around 6:30, maybe a little earlier, depending on how everything goes, because depends. Most days I get home at 5, and then there's other days. Well, I take that back. It should be 6:30. I have to stop and pick something up for my mother-in-law on the way home at Sam's Club, and then we can come home, eat, and I can get everything ready for the live stream to do all over again. And and this gives us more time to maybe delve into some other things and dig up some more information. And we'll try not to get sidetracked into other subjects, but me and my old man brain, and not being able to stay on track and on task sometimes, we start making segues into other topics and issues. But that's what happens when you do a podcast and you're talking to other folks. You kind of just find yourself working your way into another topic, and then you kind of get back on course. And that's the fun and beauty of having a guest on with you all the time. And you might want to talk. You're going to talk about a certain topic, but then you find yourself into another topic. And Catherine, since you're watching right now, here's an idea for a new podcast, and we could strictly do it. Two old people trying to stay on track. We can try to do something where we update folks on not just, we don't just talk about different topics, but maybe this is a chance for you to be able to educate people on what's going on in the Libertarian Party, because the elections are, you're having elections next month, and Voodoo Queen's number three. There's a bunch of old people in this thing, you know. What do we? And our brains just can't all function. Now, at least your guys' brains seem to function great all the time. I'm the one that gets on here and stutters and stammers and can't remember words. You guys are just beautiful. But it would be a good way to talk about the Libertarian Party, what's going on there. We can also touch on other subjects. So people, because I know, I mean, Catherine and Robert Smith both ran for state office in the Libertarian Party. And if the Mises Caucus gets in, or Mises type people get elected to positions in the Missouri Libertarian Party, that could really change things. And if they get people that are really active, going to the Capitol or making phone calls or educating people, we need to let people know about that. Because if they think that there's only two, what we would say, or what they would say, viable parties, we know they're not viable really, but they see that's the only two options they have. We need to educate people that there is another party that they can look at. They don't have to choose it, but at least take the time to look and listen and hear what's being said and then make up their mind. But it is a good push. If we want people like Robert and Catherine to get into office, this is something that we're going to have to touch on. But again, me being untrustworthy, I trust Catherine. I want to see what the party's going to do. If the party looks like it's getting its act together and that the old guard is moving away and the new guard's coming in and these people are really serious, then I want to give them some attention. And if they're doing good things, we need to highlight those things. So that's something, Catherine, that you can think about if you'd like to do. And that's something we can look forward to doing in the future. But with that, Voodoo Queen and Catherine, thanks for jumping in here real quick with me. And, again, I wanted to report on this. I didn't want to leave that up there. And because Patrick and Maya and Tom Mart said, hey, I can't hear Catherine. It's like, okay, I'm going to have to do something. So I asked Catherine. She's like, yeah, pull it down. I just didn't want to pull it down without asking her because she took time out. I could have gone through and tried to clip things out. I don't think it would have looked very good. Sounded very professional. So I wanted to ask Catherine before I just took it down. She's like, yeah, that'd be the best thing to take it down. So it's gone now, and Monday night we'll be back. So thanks, guys, for like Voodoo Queen for being there and listening in, even though we started 7 hours early. Thanks, Voodoo Queen, for being there and joining in and alerting us to the issue. And then I hope to see you all Monday night at 6:30. So with that, you fine ladies and gentlemen that may watch later. Again, and also, I know most people won't see this tonight, but maybe tomorrow. Don't forget that Dirk Dieter is going to be on with my good friend Sam Britton, MOLibertyRadio.us, tomorrow night at 7. So Dirk is going to be joining Sam on his show. And then, Sam, of course, will open up the phone line. So if you want to make a call, you can do that. But with that being said, again, thanks, guys. Thank you, Catherine. I'm sorry things didn't work out this time. We'll try again Monday. We're going to get this figured out, and we're going to nail it, and we're going to educate people on education. So, peace out, everybody.